So, Fiverr challenged me to help a subscriber to publish a book in 90 days, and who am I to question them? Here's where we're at, and then I'll tell you the plan, okay? All right, we reached deep into our subscriber base and stumbled on paranormal cozy mystery author and proud homeschooling mom of two, Sarah Walday. To date, she's published 13 books over the past 5 years, yet admits having trouble getting any traction in her author business.
So right now it's battling with my parents and in-laws' health stuff and watching my husband just kind of get eaten away by his job. And with my book stuff, I feel like I'm sucking my energy and the time that I could give them into things that aren't producing anything for us.
Sarah's getting ready to launch the 6th part in one of her 2 mystery series.
It's ready. It's been revised by me. It's ready to go to betas, and I hire those through Fiverr. And then after the betas, I just fix what they tell me and I send it to a proofer.
What makes this a do or die mission is that series isn't faring as well as her other series. The difference? Well, the book covers. So all you got left is to edit it, and then all the other stuff that comes after that. So don't launch that on your own.
Okay.
We want to help. Let's take a look at the issue. Sarah's Christian Mystery and Suspense series has vibrant book covers, clearly done by a professional, whereas in her current Paranormal Cozy Mystery series, there's a visual disconnect. Yes, the covers embody exactly what the other book covers look like in her genre, but it's just missing something, that professional touch, if you will. So let's go ahead and give your entire Cozy Paranormal Mystery series an overhaul.
Awesome!
Compliments to the fine folks over at Fiverr, the main sponsors of Book Rescue. They have some of the most affordable, high-quality cover design services, so that's why we lean on our go-to fiction book cover designer, Olivia Pro Design. I'm going to need to drop her a line just ahead, see if she's game for 6 covers for the ebook, the paperback, and the audiobook. You know, the good thing is, if she isn't available, we could always dip into the other fantastic cover designers at our vetted list of Fiverr sellers at dalelinks.com/list. Okay, so we're good to go with the covers, so we should have all those in the next week. In the meantime, let's get your keywords and your book descriptions all fixed up and showroom ready, because if no one can find you, your keywords are probably off. And even if you do get the traffic with the right keywords, your book description does the heavy lifting. If you can't give readers a compelling reason to buy your book, well, all hope is lost. You're filling your 7 back-end keywords to the brim with relevant broad keyword matches. Well done, bravo. But I see one red flag we need to address.
Okay.
There's this big red button that's right below this video. It's a subscribe button. It needs to turn gray. Hit that. Ring that bell if you don't want to miss seeing us crush this 90-day goal. Let's use Publisher Rocket again to research the latest relevant keywords for your book. That way, when we update all your titles, it'll have a rippling effect across the brand. I highly, highly, highly recommend whenever you aren't seeing significant sales after, say, 3 to 12 months, update your 7 back-end keywords.
Okay.
Hey, you wouldn't have any objections in chatting with my go-to book description expert, Brian Meeks, would you?
No! I would love to sit down with Brian Meeks.
Okay, I'll see you in the morning. It's morning time. Okay, things are moving. Sarah's working on our keywords, but what sells books even more than keywords are the descriptions that potential readers will make their decisions on. I'm about to introduce Sarah to my go-to expert when it comes to Amazon book descriptions, Brian Meeks. He's got an amazing method of drawing readers to read the top of the description that gets them to hit that read more and read even more of that book description and hopefully buy the book. Hey, Brian and Sarah, this is your official introduction. Let's see if we can dive right into this. Sound good?
That sounds great.
Excellent. So, your reader distribution is 97% female, male 3%. That sounds accurate to me for this genre. As such, one thing that I tell writers when they're doing their own descriptions is if there's a disparity in gender, you want to pick the one whose gender matches with the person who's going to be reading the description because we are hoping to connect with them. Typically, they have better results if we start with the same gender and then we can put in a guy later. Anyway, does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
So our hero is Penny Nichols. Is an 18-year-old girl with the gift of seeing death omens. Gift in quotes, because she has to travel from town to town to not grow too attached to anyone, and thus making them a target for her omens. Knowing a friendship with her could spell doom. Penny skirts the edges of real life, but is drawn into a relationship with a podcaster of the paranormal and his assistant. The Omen of Death, a.k.a. the Raven, which is awesome, is one jump ahead of Pennynickel, watching and waiting. He flutters into town just in time to ruin the closest of Penny's acquaintances and friends. Then, taunting her with musical clues, the Raven sets Penny on the trail of killers before they have a chance to strike. That's cool. Okay, so the hook. The goal of the first line is to get a person to read the second line. And so, by having as the music played, ... I'm always imagining it like a movie trailer. As the music played, she knew one thing. Somebody was marked for death. The idea is that nobody is going to stop reading your description after the word played, because the ellipse is too powerful. Everybody will be curious enough to go to the next line, and because they're short, people lose interest immediately. If they open up a description and the first thing is wall-to-wall single block of text, they just sigh. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's a cool cover, but yes, I'm going to be reading this for 2 hours. I just don't know that I can commit to the 15 seconds it's going to take to read that opening paragraph. Mm-hmm. That's too much, and they move on. Whereas this will get them to click read more, because this is the point at which it will say read more. And that's why we want as little as possible above the fold, because we're just trying to pique their interest. This isn't selling the book. This is selling the idea of reading the description. What do you think?
I really like it. You've captured it. You've captured the story, and I can feel, I don't know if this is me being weird, but I can feel like the rhythmic beat of each sentence going down the line to where it's like, okay, and this...
And
okay.
That's by design. Difference between copywriting and prose is that prose, sometimes you can even have a run-on sentence that is beautiful. It's a different melody. It's a different feel when you're in a story, the way things are rolling along. With copywriting, it's much more beat, 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 and got its own rhythm to it. And so you kind of want it to, again, keep the reader moving from top to bottom.
I could do this. It's almost like writing a mystery. You're just dropping little clues as you go along until they get to the end.
That is exactly what it is. Most authors, when they're writing a description, all of them, and I include Simon & Schuster, Knopf, any of them, their descriptions are often giant blocks of text that attempt to give a synopsis of the story. And the reason a synopsis is bad is the goal is to create mystery, to make somebody want to read the book. The goal isn't to spoil the book so there's no need to buy it. And that's where people go wrong, and especially new authors. You hint at what might happen. Don't tell them what will happen.
Hey, Sarah, you know what your homework is, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be description writing.
Yep, exactly. I haven't told you yet, have I?
Yeah.
I've got a big surprise for Sarah.
You haven't.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I love a surprise. And a parade.
Reached out to a friend of mine. Her name is Jeannie DeVita. She also goes by Callie Chase, who is one of the top 20 Kindle Vella authors right now on the platform. She's also an editor for many trad pub as well as indie authors, me included. She is also a writing instructor at UCLA. She is a second-generation author, and she wants to go ahead and edit your manuscript on the house, take care of you. She's going to do a full consult with you.
That's awesome. That's huge.
Now that the dust has settled from all the excitement from the past few days, I've found some time to reflect on our progress so far. We're on a roll right now and definitely on track to launch a book in 90 days. However, I don't want to get too cocky because things can and will go wrong in self-publishing. I think Murphy's Law is completely attached to it all together. It's inevitable. So for now, Sarah and I have to get to work fine-tuning her book descriptions based on Brian Meek's advice. So I'll see you in the next video.
You know what? I'm going to go back to reading the podcaster of the Semi-Paranormal and Penny's New Friends. Cheers on...
No, that's me. I'm so sorry.
She just rickrolled you, man.
Oh.
She just rickrolled you.
Yes,
I'm so sorry.
She absolutely did. Wow. This is the first time I've ever been live rickrolled.